Welcome back to Operation Arsenal, match day 4 in the Champions League, and we have beaten an underwhelming Slavia Prague side. I don't know, the first kind of 10, 15, 20 minutes, I actually thought they were doing okay, but for the rest of the game, they really, really struggled. It just looked like we were bullying them really and hemming them in. So that is a continuation of a 100% record. That is 4 games played, 4 wins, 0 draws, 0 losses, 0 goals conceded. Yeah, let me just say that again. 0 goals conceded in European football so far this season. Still only 3 goals conceded in total across all competitions for Arsenal this season. It's unbelievable. And we, of course, top the table in the Champions League. Slavia Prague, at times, put some good passes together. And they looked all right, like I said, for the first 20 minutes or so. They had moments. They genuinely did. But it just, I don't know, something clicked. I don't know what it was tonight. Maybe the players settled in with the atmosphere and it just suddenly clicked into place where Arsenal played their usual keep possession, control the game, set pieces being deadly. How many corners did we have today? Oh my God, it must be a record this season. And obviously, early in the second half, we killed the game off, made it 2-0 with Marino. It's unbelievable that we can go into a game without a striker. So obviously, Gyökeres is injured. Hopefully, he's going to be back soon. I'm hearing reports it's a muscle injury, could be by the end of this month. Not good news, but without him, without Havertz, of course, without Jesus still, but we just play Marino up front and he bags 2 goals. It's unbelievable. It really is. In a European away night, it could have gone really bad. It really could have. Saka scoring a penalty, of course, was a great finish. And everyone putting in a pretty good performance. It wasn't our best, and it didn't need to be our best. Now, one thing I want to make very clear, I mentioned it before, I like Norgard, and you know, against Slavia Prague, no disrespect, it feels like we can get away with putting Norgard in and taking Zubamendi out, but you see the drop-off. It is quite substantial. It's a worry of mine, and I think if we are going to go into January and look to bring in another player, if I could choose, it would be a DM. I really, truly believe that the fall-off in quality from Zubamendi to Norgard or whoever might slip into that DM role, other than maybe Declan Rice, who, of course, we know can do that role quite well, it's concerning, and I would actually consider investing in another DM. I would love someone with a profile like Adam Wharton. So young, huge ceiling, great potential. Imagine if we could get Wharton. I think he would be absolutely perfect for that role, but I very much doubt Palace would sell in January, let alone sell at all. And also, he'd want to start. I feel like the reason we can get away with Norgard more is he knows, you know, he's 31. Is he 32 yet? Let's just double check. He's 31. He knows he's not going to be the first name on the team sheet and he can just come in and do a good job. He did fine, okay? But you do see the difference more and more every time. Again, we need to give a shout out to Trossard. He's having a really good season and it's not really being talked about that much. Another assist today. Very dangerous on the break. I wish he was just that little bit younger and had that little bit more pace about him, but luckily he's got very good acceleration and he's got brains. He's a good football player up in his head. He's always ahead of the defenders. Deserved a goal, actually, I would say. But really nice assist. Perfect cross into Marino. 30 seconds into the second half. And then the third goal is still a little bit of a weird one. I actually watched it go in and just kind of sat there and didn't even react. It was weird. It was really weird. I thought Declan Rice was good. Saka obviously scored that penalty and had some good involvements, some good shots. I thought Waneri had a little bit of an underwhelming game, but this was a chance for him to give other players a rest. Of course, Ødegaard is out injured right now, but maybe we could have started Eze there, and not needing to do that means Eze is a little bit more fresh for the next game. Even though he came on late in the game, thought Timber was good again. Saliba and Gabriel were solid. Nkapie did well. He's still building minutes up. And it is worth noting that we did give away a penalty in the last 5-10 minutes, whatever it was. And the referee went and checked it, and it was perfectly fine. Ben White, you could argue had his boot up a little bit high, but I think realistically, he's won the ball fairly, and it wasn't a foul. It really wasn't. I was disappointed with Miles Lewis-Skelly coming on and getting a yellow card. I think that would have been much, much nice, a much better cameo if he didn't get that yellow card. And I thought Ben White was all right. Eze didn't seem to do too much, but honestly, I just wasn't really watching towards the end of the game. It was a really weird one for me. I was just existing watching that football match. Again, seeing, let's just double check. It is a strange name, isn't it? Andre Harrison Anus. It's a weird one. It doesn't even show. Did I say Harrison or Harriman? I think I might have said Harrison. Andre Harriman Anus. Hairy man Anus. It was great to see him get more minutes. And actually, it's the press. We really, really missed the press that Gyökeres brings. And obviously, Marino isn't going to do that part of the game to a very high level. He's not the most mobile. I thought he did really well when he came on. But we need to talk about Max Dowman. Max Dowman, man. What were you guys doing at 15? I'm trying to think right now. What would I have been doing on a Tuesday night when I was 15? Other than watching Champions League football, I would have been potentially doing some homework after school. Maybe playing some Need for Speed on the PS2, it would have been. I might have jumped on MSN with some of my mates. This is what I was doing at 15. I might have gone out on my bike and gone for a little ride around the roads, the streets outside my house. Max Dowman is playing in the Champions League for Arsenal Football Club. He's the youngest player to ever play in the Champions League. He's not even 16 until New Year's Eve, I think it is. Unbelievable. Tell me in the comments, okay? I want you to leave a comment right now. If you don't normally leave a comment, now is your time. What were you doing at 15? Because it's frightening. It really is. And every time he gets on the ball or whatever game it is, they just kick him. I feel so sorry for him. Does it say how many fouls he won? Let me just see. Was fouled 2 times. He only played 18 minutes, something like that. Hilarious. It really is. And I didn't mention Raya. Didn't really have too much to do. He's made 1 save in that game, so there was a shot on target. Can you believe it? And this was the penalty cancelled 84 minutes in. Have I got much to say about Slavia Prague? Not really. This guy here, Chori, I don't think that's how you say it. It's obviously a Czech name. 6'7", monster of a player, and he was running up to Hincapié and Gabriel, picking on them and trying to start something, and they weren't having any of it. Came off injured. He hobbled off the pitch. I was quite impressed with Mboji. I thought he was decent down that left side, but realistically, it was never going to be an easy game, was it? Arsenal are one of, if not the best team form-wise in the world right now, along with maybe Bayern and 1 or 2 other teams, but this is a team you don't want to be facing, even with rotations, even with players coming in that haven't had many minutes. For example, I didn't even think about this, but the commentator said it. Lewis-Skelly hasn't started a game in the Premier League this season, and he didn't even start today. The team rotation we've got going on this season, it's insane. We've got so many squad players that are strong, fighting for positions. Even Lewis-Skelly, who played quite a lot in his breakout season last year, isn't getting consistent starts. So I'm hoping as we go into the next game, we're obviously going to get some of the top players back in. Let's jump into the fixtures. Of course, we've got Sunday, Sunderland on Sunday, which is actually a really tough game. It's very likely that we are not going to have Gyökeres for that game. Obviously, it's not the end of the world. I feel like, I saw Sunderland take on Everton and they didn't look particularly great last night. I think we'll go there and win regardless because, they might be in form as well at home specifically, and they might be somehow, against all odds, actually fighting towards the top end of the table. But if Arsenal show up and play their usual game, not many teams can stop us, let alone a promoted side with a bunch of £20 million players just thrown in. They're doing really well right now, but I do suspect that in the next couple of weeks, especially with a lot of their players being from Africa, when the African Cup of Nations starts, I think Sunderland are going to struggle. I think this could be maybe the first of quite a few tough results for them when Arsenal come. But of course, I might be wrong. Maybe we're going to be destroyed by Granit Xhaka. Isn't it funny, this fixture difficulty thing? Sunderland is up there with the Tottenham game and apparently harder than Chelsea. It's an interesting one, isn't it? But the real one I'm really looking forward to, of course, is the North London derby against Tottenham. And then right after that, you've got Bayern and then Chelsea after that. So 3 really important games. Thankfully, we're not leaving London. This is the last game for a little while where we leave London. It'll be Saturday the 6th when we travel to Villa. So we've got a nice run of 4 games at home, even though, one of them's away, but it's still in London. In terms of traveling, that's really good. But yeah, I'm really happy we've got another 3-0 win tonight. Another really solid clean sheet victory in the Champions League. 4 wins from 4. It can't really get much better than that. And some people would say, well, it's Slavia Prague, but what are we meant to do about that? This is just who we got given. This is what we were drawn against, and we're beating every team right now without conceding. We're smashing Atletico Madrid 4-0. It's going very well right now. I'm just cautious. As I said with Sunderland, it can happen to any team. Right now, it's going very well, but just like that, it can go downhill, but hopefully not. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you for the game against Sunderland on Saturday.